right there, Latin 2. So now you know how to create the present, the imperfect, the perfect, and the pluperfect subjunctives. You know how to do it in active and passive voice, which means like the whole verb is pretty much done. You literally only have to learn the gerund and gerundive forms. And that's literally it, okay? Congratulations, you've hit the final stage of Pokemon evolution, Latin verb bassa 4, or I don't know these things. But what if I told you that there was more to the grammar? Sorry. But, you know, it's chapter 50, there's 54 in the book, so what do you expect? We need to talk about something called sequence of tenses, because as it turns out, the Romans would use specific grammar to connote certain meanings. How seriously you should take something, how unexpected something was, and what have you. It's kind of cool, because we only have tone of voice, and I don't know about you, I can't get tone of voice across in a text. The Romans used grammar for that. So I want you to turn to page 260, and I want you to just copy down the chart at the bottom of 260. All you got to do right now. All right, now that you've copied down the chart at the bottom of page 260, here's what I want you to do. I did it myself too, okay? So in your main clause, that's what's indicative. If you use the present, the future, or the future perfect indicative, then what you should use is the present or perfect subjunctive. And vice versa. If you see the present or perfect subjunctive, then you should expect a present, future, or future perfect indicative. This is what's called primary sequence. If you use any of these and use the present subjunctive, that means it's happening at the same time or after, since there's no future subjunctives. If you use the perfect, it means that it occurred before. So I don't know why I wrote after. That should have said before. I apologize. All right, now it's going to be in green, so my shame is perpetual. All right, so like I said, if you use the perfect subjunctive, that means that this clause occurs before this clause. If you use the present, it's happening at the same time or after this clause. Now, if, on the other hand, you use a main clause that has the imperfect, the perfect, or the pluperfect, then you can only use one of these. You can either use the imperfect or the pluperfect subjunctives. If you use the imperfect subjunctive, it's happening at the same time or after, because there's no futures. And if you use the pluperfect, it happened before. And you go back and forth, okay? This is if this, then this, if this, then this. That's how it works. Now, that is a standard sequence of tenses. However, okay? And actually, before I get to the however, notice that primary, no past. Secondary, only past. Okay? However, what if I used this and then this? It would still happen before, but now it would be a sentence that connotes an idea of surprise. Like, oh, that actually happened. Okay? If I did this and used this, it would be like, oh, you know, like you would expect. Okay? So, for instance, if I kiss a cow on the mouth, it will moo, like you would expect. If I kiss a cow on the mouth and it sings, you didn't expect that. Okay? So if you mix these, and you can mix them, that's grammar, that you can do that. If you mix them, then what that means is that it's happening outside of expectations, outside of normal expectations. If you stay within your sequence of tenses, then it's happening as you would expect it to. And that's what sequence of tense really kind of points out to you, okay? This works with any subjunctive and any indicative sentence where you've got both. Most of the time you'll see it is in certain ut or ne clauses, which I'm going to start teaching you about in the next video. Right now, though, I want you to read page 260 and 261, and that will get across the same idea. But I don't want you to do any exercises, which means we're actually going to end up doing a few more exercises in the next video. Okay? All right, I'm going to hit the button.